Hey guys, it's Crispy Sonic here today. I'm doing another ship review of the Andorian Chimesh pilot escort. So here it is. First of all, I think this is one of the coolest looking ships in the game. I mean, I was a really big fan of the Tier 5 Andorian escorts, especially I had the science one. So the Kumari? Uh, you know what? I'm going to check that. Am I forgetting the name? Uh, yeah, the Kamari. Yeah, I was right. So I had the Kamari, and I actually really loved it. And then Tier 6 ships the Tier 6 version came out and kind of outclassed it. So even though that one I think actually has a higher hull value, so some differences, but this is the Tier 6 one, and they made it into a pilot ship. So I thought that was actually very cool, and so I definitely picked it up. And yeah, so first of all, I was telling you I love the looks and the kind of styling of the Andorian escorts. So I think they did a really good job with the Tier 6 versions. Um, really, really great. And they made it into a pilot ship. So let me kind of show you what that means if you don't. So one of the cool things about this ship now is when you double tap any of your movement keys or click one of these buttons over here, you'll do a roll, or a dash forward or backward. And why that's kind of significant is, first of all, it gives you damage immunity when you do it. There is a little lockout, but so basically every second one, but you basically skip one unless you just wait till the lockout happens. But so you get damage immunity when you do it. You know, you're fighting and everything with this thing, so you're not always going to do it right when it recharges. So you're pretty good on that. Let me just look how long the timer lasts when you roll. So yeah, there's damage immunity, and this thing gives you positioning. You can speed up, so 15 seconds, yeah. So it can give you a quick burst of speed to get out, or maybe you pass someone after your, forward assault, and then you skip backward to keep shooting at them to kind of get a second attack in like that. So that's pretty good. Positioning is great. And then also when you do that, say I'll give you an example. When you do the skip backwards like this, maybe say you're playing PvP, maybe when you pass someone, they will turn to follow you, and then you will skip backwards behind them and then flank them. So if you have any flanking bonuses, flanking traits, anything like that from, like, say, the Jem'Hadar Raider or the intelligence specialization, or so stuff like that, you can kind of flank with that, or use your side rolls to get behind, or so it's pretty good for that, which is very nice. Or if not, it's just really good for positioning and get forward cannons or whatever on them, and your damage immunity. So say you're in the crystalline entity mission where it's about to do that shockwave that kills you, you can just double tap and you'll dodge all damage. So that is very, very helpful. So very useful, very cool. So yeah, this is the science variant, the Andorian Chimesh pilot escort tier 6. And so the thing is with this one, the tier 6 versions, they actually don't come with the wing cannons. So the wing cannons were on the tier 5 ones, and they can only be slotted on Andorian escorts. So if you wanted these, you'd have to have or get the tier 5 version. And then I also put on the console from the last ship, the tier 5 one, which is the Tachyon burst. And I found this one really great because, first of all, it does massive shield damage, and then also it does the increases damage to shields by 25% for 15 seconds. So say you did like a rapid fire and everything while after you use that, it's just like they basically have no shields because it's a huge drain, and then their shields are weak. So it's massive, and then this is one of the reasons I'm using it. So look at my science stats here. Looking at them, see 355 drain expertise on this thing. So it's insanely high drain expertise. So what I do is I use this console as well as the plasmatic leech, so I can leech power levels, like a big power levels, stacks 10 times and then 15 seconds. So basically, I'm constantly draining their power levels and then boosting my own power levels, so they go up a lot. My own, and then theirs are drained a lot. So it's very good for keeping all my levels up and then draining theirs. So I use this for drain. I have a Tachyon beam 3, which is a really high Tachyon beam, which will do just a lot of shield drain with that amount of drain expertise. So it's really insane. They basically never have shields. And then to kind of top it off, or one more thing is, I have the Omega set, and the 2-piece set gives all your weapons a shield drain, and that's improved by drain expertise. So all of my energy weapons, is it all energy weapons or all weapons? Hold on, let me check. I think it's energy weapons. I missed that. Energy weapons, yeah. So all of my energy weapons are draining shields just from hitting. So it's kind of a shield power kind of drain build. And what's nice with the power levels, while you increase your auxiliary and shield power, these abilities the Tachyon beam will do more damage. And so let me see. Wait, will power levels affect this? 14,000. You use the red matter capacitor. Okay, so but no, so it doesn't do that. But I don't think. But yeah, so this will do the Tachyon beam will do even more with my power levels up. And then also, I have a Warp Core with AMP, an Elite Fleet Reinforced Warp Core with AMP. So that means that when every power level is at 75, you get when each power level is at 75, you get a damage bonus of 3.3%. So I do 13.2% more, 13.2% all damage. When those power levels are up from the plasmatic leech. So when I'm basically shooting, my damage will just go up as those power levels cross. So I have really nice power levels, and I drain like 20 something of theirs just from shooting at them. So really good console. It's really highly buffed from these drain expertise, everything. So that's really nice. And then my Tachyon beams and this console do a lot. So that's why I wanted to have all that on there. Plus, this thing only has a 1-minute recharge. So if you miss or you keep piling on the shield damage, it's not like a one-shot thing and you're like, oh, you have to wait so long necessarily. So 1-minute recharge is very good for such an effective console when you actually buff it that much. And again, that increases other stuff like the leech and your Tachyon beam, stuff like that. So overall, just really, really great. And all your weapons too, they drain. So I have kind of a drain build right now on this thing. It's like a kind of sciencey escort. So that's very fun. It is the science variant, but it deals a lot of damage and also has a lot of shield drain. So, and that's also why I'm using this Advanced Fleet Quantum Torpedo just for straight up heavy damage. So I can use a high yield torpedo, quickly get through, use a Tachyon beam or this thing, and just shoot the torpedo off, and it's massive damage. So it's really, really fun. This thing just gets through shields and does straight damage, including these are heavy hitting as well. The quad cannons, dual heavy cannons up here. So these do a lot of damage. They're slower, but they do a lot. So I got all that stuff for just like draining and then doing kinetic damage, torpedoes, stuff like that, just to get through the shields and just kill. Because if you have trouble getting through the shields, it's going to be hard to kind of kill. So I found that just getting through shields and lowering their power levels, which lowers their defense and their effectiveness in general, you're just crazy. And then I have phasers as well, so this can just disable as well. So that's really nice to just, you mess with them in a lot of ways. And I like the phaser a subsystem offline for 5 seconds, because that can be pretty devastating if the shields go down and you can just hit them straight up, or their weapons go offline. Then you're safe, or auxiliary goes down, stuff doesn't work right, engines, they can't move. So it's really, really great. And then I'm using Elite Fleet phasers because this basically, in using escorts or even bigger ships, regardless. But escorts have a lower modifier. This kind of keeps just from shooting because you're using rapid fire cannons, whatever. This keeps your shields kind of topped off, or it keeps restoring your shield. So basically, gives you much more shield regeneration over time while you're shooting. So you can proc and then it'll restore your shields pretty heavily. So that's nice to fighting with an escort. Say it's kind of squishier. Keep your shields up. You're usually facing the forward arc, I guess. So it's nice to have weapons that just from shooting, you can kind of get a nice little bonus shield heal on there. Plus, say on a science ship or a ship with heavy shields, that just makes it even harder and keeps them up to because that's one of the big bonuses of using a science ship is shield. So anything you use it on, it's really great. I really love these weapons. So here's the rest of my build. Omega set, Elite Fleet Warp Core, Voice of the Prophets, the Red Matter Capacitor, Subspace Fuels Modulator, Conductive RCS with Turn, 0 point energy. All these are drain, so we get the plasma damage procs. What's nice is, again, it goes right through shield, so we're going for the hull. So that's really great, and it improves my drain like crazy. 39.4 drain experience each. So, and then some phaser tactical consoles here, leech, and the drain. So, and so this is my build. I kind of set up for this ship right now. Still kind of working on stuff like duty officers traits and stuff, but right now I have some pretty good ones I think on here. Haven't unlocked some of this stuff, but I just unlocked my starship trait, 5th one. So I have retaliation. So basically when you get critically hit, which is a lot, you get a bonus of 10% all damage and 1% critical chance for 15 seconds. And it stacks 3 times, and you get critically hit all the time. So basically you almost always have 30% bonus damage and 3% critical chance, which is crazy. And then this one, while you're, again, because say on this ship you're an escort, so you're usually flying pretty fast. Keep your defense up, because that's one of the bonuses. You don't get hit as much, so you that kind of helps. You stay alive. Plus 2% bonus. Bonus all damage for 2. Okay, so it goes up to 20%. Every 2 seconds you get 2% all bonus damage. So that's nice when you're going full speed. This one is crazy. So this is from the Scimitar. Firing torpedo grants a stack of supercharged. The tier 6 Scimitar, my bad. Firing torpedo grants a stack of supercharged. So you get 10% for 20 seconds damage. By the way, this one is all damage. And this one. So I guess this is all damage too. Or for direct energy weapons. So firing a torpedo on this one gives your energy weapons 10% damage for 20 seconds, 1.5 critical chance, and 6.6 critical severity, and it stacks 3 times. So you're getting, from firing your torpedoes, even more damage, buffs, critical chance, critical severity when firing torpedoes. And I tried it, and if you use high yield torpedo, you get all 3 stacks, because it's shooting 3 torpedoes. So if you shoot torpedoes quite often, use high yield, you'll get this buff up, and all your weapons will be doing insane damage. So if you're going full speed, you're being shot at, and then you use the torpedo, you're doing like insane damage. It's ridiculous. Then I have this Tachyon dispersal. So minus 25% shield resistance while Tachyon beam is channeled. So basically, when you're using a Tachyon beam, their resistance value is 25% lower, so all your weapons will do more on their shields, which is, again, really great. I use Drain, Tachyon beams, stuff like that. Really helpful. This is one of the best Tachyon beam traits for this kind of thing. And then here's what's awesome as well. After 4 seconds of the Tachyon beam, which is not hard because that is a 130 to 5 degree arc, so you can stay in there, especially with this pilot ship. Is really good with that. You do even more shield drain every second for 10 seconds, and then also minus 25% shield resistance for 10 seconds after those 4 seconds. So it's just crazy. Like, their shield resistance is low. It's doing more damage to shields on top of the regular Tachyon beam. So you're just doing an insane amount. And plus, I have a little drain infection there, so that's more damage to the hull through the shields. So this Tachyon beam is just so awesome. Especially say on like also on ships like science ships where you can put on like 2 Tachyon beams. It's very, very good. But yeah, I have a really high level Tachyon beam on here, so that's really great. You could put on 2 as well. I might. But yeah, and then down but not out. This is from the Kelvin timeline. Oh, this one is from this. The retaliation is from the temporal dreadnought, or the temporal battlecruiser, I think. Yeah, it's from the temporal battlecruiser, and then the down but not out is from the Kelvin timeline heavy command cruiser. And so when you're basically, this has to do with power levels again. Keep all your stuff up, your shields high, auxiliary up, so all your stuff does more. Your weapons do more, you go faster, stuff like that. So more defense, I think. So keeping your power levels up is good. So when you start to get hurt, your power levels go up even more, and that's just passive. So as your health decreases, your power levels go up. So it does a lot. Keeps your power levels up. Again, helps you keep it up to get the amp thing on here. So it all works out together. My power levels are crazy high. Theirs are small. Theirs are lowered by a lot more than I get from the leech. So it's much more drain them, which is really good, because then my weapons do more. Everything does a lot, and then I get enough power levels to get the amp, and then everything's just better. So, but it's a really good drain system here. I just got everything kind of figured out with that, and it's worked. It's so rare to have foes with shields. It's so satisfying to use a Tachyon beam or this thing and just rip through shields. It's really, really cool. And then that's, you can just do the damage now. So I've been trying to get a lot more just damage stuff on here as well. I just retrain my skills, stuff like that. With this torpedo too, kinetic damage, you can just do a lot. So that's all good. I just want to say a little quick thing about this thing compared to, say, the old pilot escorts. So I have them on Romulan, but you can look up the stats and stuff. So basically, the only difference with this one and the Icarus, which is the science one, besides a little, specific small stuff, is this one has a higher shield modifier and hull. Pretty good for a escort. 1.1 shield modifier here. I actually have the stats up here. 1.1 shield modifier, pretty high for an escort with the pilot ability. So it's more tanky, can survive really well. But the pilot escorts have a little higher. They have a higher turn rate and I think a higher impulse modifier. We can actually check that. So it's kind of a trade-off. Like, what do you kind of want? But they both have 5-3 weapons when you have the experimental weapon on there. And they're both they're both the pilot abilities, both very strong. So it's more just kind of what you. Here's the Icarus. Let's see, 20 turn rate and so a higher 20.4 or 0.24 modifier. So it's a little faster and a little more turn rate. Let me just see the inertia rating. Inertia. So it's a little different. So you sacrifice a little bit of turn rate and impulse modifier for some hull and shields. So it's just kind of what you want. It's still very fast and it's still a good escort. It's just a little tankier for a little speed, but I also use a conductive RCS with turn. So it still turns very, very quickly and comfortably. So that's very good. Oh, a little lag there. So yeah, it's just kind of more what you want. Plus, you can use the wing cannons and the Kamari stuff and whatever. It does come with a console as well. The gateway trap, I think, or the gateway. Let me find it. Gateway trap. Yeah. Oh, come on! What the heck? So I'm not using it on my build because I'm again, this is kind of a drainy build, but I'll still definitely. Let's show you what it does. The Alliance Dogfighter set. So again, it has a different set than say the other pilot ships. So it's more just kind of what you're looking for. What the heck? Okay, 1 second. Can you just like click on the right link and stop lagging like this? Let me go down. Wow, this is a nightmare. Okay, Alliance Dogfighter set. All right. So first of all, let's just go to the set bonuses real quick. So 10% flight speed and accuracy. So that's already like right off the bat is good, and it makes you faster and everything like that. So that's great. And then when you have all three, it reduces the time on like all of the whole set thing. And then, oh wow, bonus phaser disruptor damage. So when you put on a lot of consoles, you get kind of gradual big. That's a pretty big damage bonus. So it's just really good. And then each console is kind of unique. Very cool. So yeah, it's just what you kind of want in it. But the console on this one is the gateway trap. So it gives you some control expertise and some scientific readiness. And then it does an area of effect damage, slow, pull, teleport, and subsystem offline. So it creates a gateway trap within 2 kilometers of the foe for 10 seconds, which causes the following to all enemies within 5 kilometers. It constantly pulls them toward the gateway trap, does kinetic damage each second, and wow, that drastically lowers the flight speed. To foes pulled within 0.2 kilometers of the gateway trap, it teleports them to the exit gateway and it disables subsystem. So if they are pulled really close to it, it'll do the teleport and the subsystem offline. Otherwise, it does some kinetic damage and it's a pull, and it drastically lowers the flight speed, which I guess will help pull. And you know, it's just really nice to slow them down, stop them, and you can shoot at them. So that's very good. Let's go back in game. Yeah, and then I am in the planet. Let's get out of here. And then I'll just go over the trait really quick before we hop in a game to kind of show you, and then we'll be good. But so let's just go over the mastery real quick. So precise weaponry, 5 accuracy, 5 defense, plus 10 kinetic and energy damage. So that's very nice. Plus 2.5 critical chance, very good. And then improved gravity well. So I thought this one was very cool. If you're using like a kind of exotic damage gravity well build, if you're using gravity well, or control, whatever. So it increases the duration of my gravity well by 20 seconds, which is just ridiculous. That's a really long gravity well. And then the recharge time is also reduced by 20 seconds, probably because while you're using it, it's not on cooldown. I think while you're using it, it's... Oh, no, maybe it is. I don't know. Okay, well, reduced by 20 seconds, which is nice. And then the primary target of the gravity well suffers minus 20 damage distance for 40 seconds, which is a lot. So all that together means this could, any gravity well ships you want to use using this kind of ability, which this one can. It has the science slot for it. It actually, you can do it twice. If you can do it again if you use the universal slot. So if you want to make this into kind of a control ship like that, a gravity well stuff, this is really good because this recharges very fast. And it lasts for a long time with the damage resistance. Very, very cool, unique trait. So very cool, but I'm going with a drain on this ship. I'm just going to hop in a game. Let's just queue for some stuff here. I will queue either kind of my two that I like to test are Infected the Conduit and Gateway to Greythor, because you can get those queues pretty quickly. Where did I missed it? Wait. It's just mindlessly scrolling. Alright, Gateway to Greythor. Let's just queue for those. But yeah, so also about kind of the looks of it. It's a very kind of sleek Andorian looking ship. Pretty kind of close to the show, everything like that. It looks very cool. And I just love like the look of the wing cannons. Oh, infected conduit. So like when you have the wing cannons, you know, they shoot out of there. I think on the tier 5 one they had like a little animation, but I know there's like a specific, you know, you could see it, a place for those specifically those weapons, which is very cool. But you don't need them, and if you just buy the ship, you don't get them. You have to have the tier 5, one of the tier 5 ones. And you don't need them. You can use whatever weapons you want. But I like to put them on here, and then just turn on the line a little bit. I like to have them on here, as well as the console that come with the last ship, because again, it's kind of a drained build. So I use it, but you don't have to. You can put whatever weapons you want. So you don't necessarily need to buy the tier 5 one, because it's still a fun pilot ship. Well, yeah, so we're going to get into it. I'll kind of show you some of the drain stuff I like to run. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of show you my kind of build I like to set on it. You can really build it however you want. I'm not using this really at all. Like, you can. I'm not really... Again, this kind of character is very drain heavy. I use it on most ships with the leech. So I'm not really too invested, as well as with gear, in exotic damage. So I have the console and the trait. For me, I like the fact that I can use the Kumari stuff from the tier 5 version on this, because it's still the Andorian ship stuff. It's just from the old one. So I'm using it, which is cool. But, you know, it does come with some cool stuff if you want to get into exotic damage, which you definitely can. But that's kind of why I'm not running it right now. Yeah, you can see the wing cannons. Oh. I want to see the, I think it has like an animation. Let's see. Yeah, it does. They kind of go inward and out, like kind of pulse, like kind of pump like they're shooting. It's like kind of like a knockback almost when they shoot. That's pretty cool. Okay. By the way, I'm running this on a pretty old 2012 MacBook Pro on boot camp. So if it's not the fastest, my apologies. But yeah, let's get this going. I'm also using a trackpad right now, so you can hear that. Okay, let's just do it real quick. Yeah, this thing can deal some serious damage. I mean, it is an escort. Oh, wow. You know, the thing though is, like, in these missions, when like people are really high, like with DPS and stuff, like everything gets killed so fast, so it's hard to like really show so much. You know what I am gonna do is, I'm gonna go after just the random sphere, and I'll kind of show you the shield drain. So ready? I'm gonna use the console, and I'm gonna shoot this thing and watch the shields. Immediate impact like that, and then you can see I'm doing much more damage to shields, so it's just like it's like paper thin shields, you know. I might die. Wait a sec. I'll flip out of here. So once you do the initial shot, which does a lot, then you know all your weapons will do a lot more damage to their shields. So it's just like, you know, you're just basically ripping through them with your weapons. So very, very good. Huge amount of shield drain in just one shot. You know, if the Tachyon beam does like 2,000 here with all this drain for 10 seconds, just a single quick shot like that, a burst, 14,000 plus the thing, like in just a console with a 1 minute recharge is nuts. So that's why I'm kind of using that. It does a whole lot of damage at once, and then you do a quick burst with like a torpedo. It's just like crazy. There's a Tachyon beam. Big shield drains, you can see it all going down, and we won. Let's take that. Yeah, so I'll just kind of finish up here. Okay. Oh crap! I was gonna finish there. Okay, well, So let's just talk about this. So, um, yeah, this is a really well balanced um, pilot escort. It's really like it doesn't feel so too squishy, um, especially like it doesn't feel slow at all. Again, it's still a pilot ship, and I am using this console. It feels nice and comfortable. It feels um, just strong. Like overall, it's very well balanced. You got the survivability with the rolls and the extra shields and hull. You can run a lot of science stuff on it for this variant. Um, and it's just it does a lot of damage as well. Lots of tactical slots, lots of it's got 5 tactical consoles if you want to run that. It's just very well balanced with just good hull shields, and you got the rolling and stuff. So um, and the other pilot escorts, they're very good as well. They're super maneuverable, fast, pretty high defense rating, everything like that. Deadly. They are a little squishier. So this is a really good balanced ship and maybe you don't have to focus as much on heals with, say if you have the pilot escorts versus the original ones. Maybe because those are squishier, you might have to put an extra heal on, a heal or two, a shield heal, hull heal, whatever, to kind of compensate for that. And on this one, maybe you can put on more speed stuff, maybe again a conductive RCS, or maybe like emergency power to engines, any of the pilot abilities, to kind of balance it more with the other ships to get the speed part. So it's all very balanced, and what's cool is you can do that to kind of compensate, or you can just go for even more hull capacity, more heals to just be even tougher. So you can really set it up however you want, but they you can balance them out, but they have different slots, different consoles, different innate abilities. So it's very kind of unique and fun to have different things that do different things. So you can optimize it however you want, but it has the potential to be whatever you want, because again, it's very balanced. Very good ship. Love the look of it. I was always a huge fan of the Andorian ships, and these do not disappoint at all. They are very, very cool. And I love that they made it into a pilot ship, because I think pilot ships are very fun and unique, and they're just like it's a unique. It's not like a gimmick. It's very useful and very part of it. So it's just really, it's a fun part of the game. It adds to it. So I really liked the, and you don't have to have. I mean, there are merits to not having them either. Like the Defiant is a sturdy, just great escort. It's stuff like that. You don't need them, but for the it's very cool that this has it, and it works very well. So it's just different. So it's a different kind of ship in the game. I mean, from the C store, they're only a certain amount. I don't know about the new like kind of Discovery, whatever stuff like that, but I haven't really looked into that. But I know that this bundle and then the old bundle are the ones on the C store you can buy, and then any other ones are in like lock boxes or whatever. But I mean, this thing is so much fun. Really, this variant is very good for any kind of fun science tactical combo, and so it's just really great. I'm also a science character, so damage resistance, debuffs, with shield and power drains. It's just like you're basically crippling them in most ways, where it's just like they're just like a lot worse, like a lot more helpless, and you can just kind of like totally walk all over them, right, with like from all those debuffs and everything. So it really works. This kind of thing I'm doing here is I really love the idea of, and it's working really well. I just need to really start focusing on like duty officers, because I haven't really done that, and unlocking traits and setting it up, whatever. But ship wise, I mean, this is a really solid ship, and I got some good gear on here, so it's exactly how I want it to be with that. So, but yeah, I'll end it there. Hope you guys enjoyed my review. This is a really good one, really, really fun. Okay, it's just fun. Like the pilot maneuvers, the the looks of it, it's just like so fun. The bridge officers, whatever you can slot on. So this is a really fun ship, and it's definitely worth a go. If you want to use like the console and the trait for any exotic damage control, whatever stuff like that, gravity well stuff, you absolutely can on this variant. But I also love the old console and the wing cannons, so I slotted them on as well, or I slotted them on my build. But so I wanted to show you can do that as well. So, but overall, it's very, very cool. Definitely, you can give it a go, and if you want to, maybe a free ship token, whatever. But yeah, that's the Andorian pilot ship, and I hope you like this review. Thanks for watching.